You know, when you look at all the characters who performed at Amphibia's Got Talent in the season 1 episode Fiddle Me This, or all the characters who performed at Wartwood's Battle of the Bands in the season 2 episode Battle of the Bands, I don't think Amphibia ran out of characters to perform in a music talent show in season 3. Season 3 was just 2 episodes short because Matt really needed to wrap things up a lot faster here than in the previous 2 seasons. So when Wartwood is at war with, when the whole of Wartwood is at war with Kingdom of Newtopia, they simply don't have time to have a break in the plot for another breather episode with the music talent show, which I thought could be a special, which I thought was Amphibia's unique type of episode or special thing that they do every season. Just like the caked episodes of Cody and Kids Next Door, the horror-themed challenges of Total Drama Island, which is still present in the Redonkulous Race and Total Drama-Rama, or also known as Total Drama Daycare. Star versus the Forces of Evil's Trips to Quest By, Brooklyn Nine-Nine's episodes with the Halloween Heist, and Doug Judy, the Pontiac Bandit. 2 for 1. Brooklyn Nine is special to me because Brooklyn Nine is pretty special in that regard because it has 2 episodes. It has 2 special types of episodes it has in every season except this one. And Milo Murphy's Law has multifaceted competitions of brains and brawn, as seen in Academic Mathological Season 1 and the Speech and Debate League of Death and Destruction Crosstown Explosion event Season 2. Now that is a doozy of a title. It's even longer than the Wander Over Yonder episode, The Epic Quest of Unfathomable Difficulty. Now, whose sock is this? But seriously, yeah, I was kind of disappointed that Matt Braley and TJ Hill didn't have a 3rd musical showdown in season 3. Because, I mean, the first 2 musical showdowns were on Earth, and if they, when our 4 main Amphibia characters spend the first half of season 3 on Earth, and then they come back there for the finale, what other better time is there to have a 3rd music talent show, especially if that's how the fight between Anna and Andreas, or Sasha and Darth Marcy went down. Now, in an alternate timeline where season 3 did have a penultimate music talent show in the midst of All In, because they had to fight with music or whatever. Season 3 of Amphibia had already equipped some nice new characters who could have helped, and the Planters and Sasha fight King Andreas, robots and Herons and Darcy. They had Terry. Think about Anika Noni Rhodes, who voices Terry, Anika Noni Rhodes, who voices Dr. Jan, and the main hero of The Princess and the Frog, as opposed to Keith David playing King Andreas, and the main villain of The Princess and the Frog. Kate Mishiguchi, who voiced Terry, and Kathleen Melville, who voiced Pepper Ann. They're all very good and talented. They're all very talented singers. you know, if Cassie Glow from Spider's Grid can sing, then I guess we could also count Molly Joe. Maybe. It would be nice to know if Sabrina and it would be nice to know if Sabrina Glow and Cassie Glow sung in any of their Morphle videos. I mean, you know, I checked all the different possible facets of this, all possible variables of what the first two seasons had that maybe the third season didn't have. I mean, the third season still has all or most of the same writers and directors from Fiddle Me This and Battle of the Bands. T.J. Hill, the original music composer, is still around. I believe he's still a showrunner. So why didn't season 3 end with another penultimate? So how come season 3 doesn't have another penultimate episode for another third musical showdown? My best guess is, well, Matt Bailey just didn't have time for it because he needed more focus on the main story in the second half of Amphibia's third season after just keep Amphibia when enough time to thrive in Amphibia. Dr. Ken should have gone with him so that he could meet Andreas or Maddie Flower's dad. It would have been nice to reunite three major cast members of the Princess and the Frog in some way. Because Amphibia happened to cast one third character used in all 3 seasons. Kevin Michael was in season 1, Keith Davis in season 2, and Nikki Nori was in season 3. So instead of a third musical showdown in All In, well, we had something else that was nearly as amazing. We had something else that was nearly as impressive as a third music talent show. Since All In didn't have time for a third music talent show, the best TJ Hill could do to compensate for it was to come up with a really cool K-pop, Korean pop song to play in the climactic double duel. One duel of Anne versus Andreas and one duel of Sasha versus Dark Marcy. I mean, if you pretend that other characters are performing the Korean pop song Korean, which we actually don't see anyone doing, it actually makes for a pretty good escalation from the musical numbers we had in the previous 2 music talent shows.
Sweet life giving K-pop.
No, there was no rejected idea for Sasha and Darth Marcy to have a rap battle. I just made that up. I was just being silly. Now, I have watched Cartoon Universe's end of series live chat with cast of Amphibia, the people who voiced the Planters, Mrs. Croker, and the creator who voices Chuck, the Frog Who Grows Tulips. And Matt Braley actually said that season 3 was going to have since season 3 is 19.5 hours, with all in being the length of 2.5 hours, he actually was going to, the one episode of season 3 that got removed during the coronavirus pandemic was, it was going to be another Halloween episode like the shut-in from season 2, only it would take place on Earth in Anne's home instead of, on Earth in Boon Choi's home instead of on Amphibia in the Planner's home, which would have been a little interesting to watch. But if it's non-canon and the shut-in where Holly turns into a beast under the blue moon is also non-canon, then yeah, I can live without it. I'm just relieved that the missing season 3 episode wasn't a third musical showdown, which is still something that I hope Matt Braley considers including in the 59th and 60th Amphibia episodes when he's finally ready to write a reunion story, because there's actually a pretty clever way he could integrate that into the main plot of a reunion if Marcy found another supernatural artifact powered by music in her new home, and when Marcy during her visit to Anne and Sasha in Los Angeles, if she enters a third musical showdown with them, which could be hosted by Jess and Allie if they were hosting a robot-themed music talent show for charity on their YouTube channel. Then maybe Anne, Sasha, and Marcy's performance, or maybe possibly even combined with the music talents of Pepper Ann, Pearson, Terry, and Dr. Jan, could be powerful enough to send Anne, Sasha, and Marcy back to Amphibia. You could create another portal that they could use to finally visit the Planners and Flowers again. Anne would be happy to meet the Planners and Sundews again. Sasha can give Captain Graham a great big hug. Marcy would be happy to reunite with Olivia, Yunnan, and the Flowers, because I know we all wanted her to see Maddie Flower again, and she didn't get to do that in the last few episodes. And they missed out on an opportunity to have Maddie try to save Marcy with an anti-mind control spell. And if Dr. Jan can meet King Andreas, then we can find and Mr. Flower, then maybe we can finally have the Princess and the Frog reunion I've been waiting to see with the 3 of them. Well, that's all for now. Remember, kids, Guardian Anne made you special, and she loves you very much. Bye!